what is the difference between reading Shakespeare in a book and seeing Shakespeare on stage? And there are some pretty huge differences. For starters, in the book, when you're reading the play, you see a character name and a bunch of speech next to that character name. But it's hard to get a sense of who that person really is. It isn't like there's a description that says, Laertes, a young man of 22, he looks like this, he wears this. So you don't really have an idea of what the character really is. When you see it on stage, you immediately know. As soon as you're introduced to that character, oh, that's Laertes. Oh, there he is again. I know who that is. I recognize this story. I can follow what he's saying to me. The other thing is action. It's hard in reading a Shakespeare play on the page to really determine what the action is. It looks like everybody's just standing around and talking all the time, but there's a tremendous amount of action. There's action in the language, and there's action that we have to choreograph on stage. So it comes to life through those elements. Also, Shakespeare's, the way he writes, and sometimes hard to know this when you're just reading it off the page, he actually wrote in a kind of stream of consciousness way. So it's not always in perfectly grammatical sentences. Now the scholars go crazy about this, all arguing about, why it isn't a perfect sentence and why does he interrupt his thought there? But actors don't have a problem with that. Actors love that because it's real life. It feels like real thought, right? And so that will really come to life. The spoken word will come to life when you hear it spoken as opposed to just reading it on the page. It's a very different experience.